Good morning, everybody from Belgrade. I am just getting ready. I was just, you know what, it was one of those mornings where I woke up and I was like, wash your hair, have a good, nice hair day. But I reminded myself, listen, for those of you who are traveling in a tourist situation, okay, we are having a tourist day, we're gonna go see the city. It's windy, we're going outside, my hair is going to be all in my face. It's going to drive me crazy. So you know what? Even though I would feel a lot cuter and more put together if I had done a hair wash day, the hair is going back. It's going back and out of my face so that I can just be peaceful and not overstimulated all day long. I even put bobby pins, guys. Like, we mean business, okay? Actually, speaking of that, that goes down to my outfit too, because there's so many times where I'm like, oh, I want to be so cute and take so many cute pics. Listen, I'm crushing like 20K steps a day while we are here being tourists, and I can't wear cute shoes. I've got to have sneakers. I've got to wear socks, and I need to be comfortable. So could my outfit be cuter if I had little flats on or heels? Yes. But are we wearing dirty sneakers? Also yes. I have my little mixture of the Sephora Reveal the Real tints. The mixture of 100 and 130 is literally my perfect shade. Like, so much so that it just blends in and I can't see anything even more than I couldn't before. Like, the tone is just perfect. So we've already been here in the city for a few days now, and we've just been wandering and eating some really good food. We've been going to a few museums, but kind of wanted to save the big touristy day, the big rounds, for this little vlog. And I actually asked you guys on Instagram for your top recommendations, so I kind of tailored today the itinerary for the day by your recommendations. So basically you guys are giving us a Belgrade city tour today, and I'm going to bring you along, so I can't wait. And I'll show you a hotel room tour later once we get back and they clean the room, and it just looks like a cutie little palace. It is so adorable, and the lobby restaurant seems to actually be a pretty hot bumping spot in the city. They've got live music. Live music also seems to be a big thing here. We've noticed that there's live music at so many different places. You can hear it at night too. They have a breakfast buffet here, which we've been doing, and we are sacrificing our breakfast buffet to go to your guys' top recommendation for breakfast today, okay? But it's such a nice atmosphere downstairs. It's this beautiful old, like, kind of palace-esque ballroom, and they have live piano throughout the whole breakfast. It is such a pleasant experience. The buffet is like, okay, they have so many options, so many things you need. It's not as healthy as I would personally prefer to start my day with, but it is delicious. And they have buttock. But for the sake of the vlog and the sake of the people on the internet, we're going to venture out and try a different breakfast place. And it was actually kind of sad because I was like, maybe we shouldn't have done the hotel breakfast. It was an option. It was so cheap and it was so beautiful. How could we say no? But there do seem to be a lot of amazing breakfast and brunch places that you guys recommended. So I was like, dang, I guess we could have been eating out. But oh well, we have been eating out enough. I'm just using the Danessa Myricks concealer in the shade 3, Makeup by Mario bronzer, the usual, you know. I'm going to do a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury Lip and Cheek Glow in the shade Color of Passions. Obviously my classic OG fave for fall. I'm certain that mine is definitely expired by now. I could stand to get a new one. But here we are. I'm just going to fill in my brows. For the lips, I'm going to use that Kiko 04 pencil. It's just a little bit pink. Would love something more cool toned. I can't believe I busted my Sephora one. And you know what's so funny? I was at Sephora. And I totally forgot to pick it up. I was so focused on picking up the other shade of the skin tint that I just totally forgot to pick up the nudist lip liner, which would have paired with this much better. But anyway, this is Biossance Supernova lip tint, which is such a delight. I'm very dry. I just need something a little bit more hydrating. So that's what I'm going to bring along. And I'm going to set in a little bit with this Tower 28 powder, which I've been doing a little test of. And finally, some mascara. And that's the makeup. Done for the day. Ready to go. I've donned the jewels, and here's my outfit of the day. It's all Massimo Dutti. I'm not gonna lie, I had a little crisis when we got here and just went and got a couple of pieces. And this little tank is great. Great. Little jeans, my Sambas, classic Naghetti bag, and that's the fit. So the first stop, we're heading to Bloom for breakfast, which was the top breakfast recommendation that you guys sent. And can I also say, every time I do one of those question things on Instagram and seeing how many of you are from different places in the world, it is so cool. I love that. And shout out to Lily, who we met yesterday, who is not from here. She was from New York, but she was here with her husband traveling. How cool. It's just such a small world. I love saying hi to you guys. I love meeting you, and thank you always for keeping our travel recommendations top tier. And I have a joke where it seems like everywhere we go, we're seated next to a speaker. Every time we make the joke, every time we're like, oh, here's the speaker curse. It was the same. So we were seated upstairs at this place and right next to a speaker, and the music was bumping. So anyway, I couldn't talk to you. Breakfast was fab. It was delicious. We got 2 juices, 2 coffees, 2 waters, 2 breakfasts. Oh, how much is it? What was the conversion? All for $44. Do you know how much that would have been at home? Easily with tip, $100 breakfast. Easily. Really good. The atmosphere was very nice. They had a carrot cake and a banana bar that also looked really delicious. But we gotta save our stops, guys. We got a lot of stops to go on this day, but A++ recommendation. Also, right beside it was another place called June that looks equally as delicious, so perhaps we'll go there tomorrow. But yes, Bloom, delicious. Our bellies are stuffed. On to the next. Okay, so we're just walking down the street heading to the Skadarlija area, and we're hoping that we can find another coffee and a little sweet treat before we hit up the museums. But this is like the cobblestone old area, and it's a little section of town on the map. But we did get a very stern recommendation to not come here during the day and to only come at night. But guys, we're just not night people. So we're gonna do the day stroll. So this is the little street, all the cobblestones, and at night there's tons of live music, everyone's out. Apparently it's popping and dancing and music everywhere. We're just gonna enjoy the soft, peaceful silence of the day. Okay, so it's definitely a place to come to at night. It's pretty much empty. Very beautiful. I can see that the vibes would be high in the evening, but during the day, not so much. Now we're coming to the National Museum, which we walked straight through the beautiful little square with the horse statue, thinking the entrance is at the front. It's not. The entrance is here on the side. So now we're going in. I don't know why, but they just like handed us a little free ticket. He was just like, enter. We're like, oh, okay, so nice. Is it always free? I have no idea. Anyway, we're looking through the, is it Vincha? Vincha. These are some of the oldest pieces from Vincha, and I was just laughing because I'm like, after all these years, from the earliest human civilization, our taste in pottery has not really changed. Is this planter for sale? I want that in the backyard. Was in the middle, and they just started playing, and there was this little child prodigy playing on the piano. Insane. And the entire time that we've been walking around the gallery, this has been playing in the background. It's so beautiful. I just feel like we're so lucky. I don't know if they do that every day or what, but we've just been surrounded by beautiful music, seeing an insane art collection, and this has been a very, very special experience. And not to mention, we're in a gorgeous palace building. I just, I have no words. Might I also say that there are many, many images and depictions that say that dragons were real. So now we're gonna head to the kind of main shopping street, and then you can take that all the way down. It's a pedestrian street to Kalemegdan, which is a huge park with a fortress. I'm not gonna lie, we've been taking our stroll there every day, but we haven't actually gone into any of the museums yet. So I'm really excited to see it, go into the fortress. You guys, it's honestly such an amazing thing that I think the city has done with that old fortress park. It's open to the public. It's beautiful. You can walk all throughout it. There's restaurants. There's so many activities. They turned the moat into tennis courts and padel courts. It's so cool. I love it so much, and it's absolutely massive. So we'll take this little walking street down, and it ends at the fortress. Quick pit stop to get some gelato, because this was one of the most recommended places that you guys sent. Said in off the top? Yeah, we get the passable. Rude. The Lovely specifically said that we have to get the pistachio and the pecan pie gelato. So there's a lineup. It's busy. It's popular. There's locations everywhere, but this was the one that was like closest to the Kalemegdan park. So we came here. Very beautiful little side street, might I add. And honestly, I don't know, I'm sweating. I could use this gelato right now. They didn't have pistachio or pecan pie. I don't know if they have daily flavors or if different locations have different ones, but I got bueno and salted caramel. You got hazelnut and bueno. Hazelnut and bueno. That's
Let's get another coffee.
We stopped for a coffee and a pee because, you know, nature calls sometimes. But we came into this cafeteria place. It's absolutely massive. It's like 3 or 4 floors down went pee, and so there's a barber shop in the basement. How crazy. Anyway, he just made me order in Serbian.
Jeli molim te mogu jedan americano sa ledom I jedan regularni americano. Hvala.
How red am I? They're literally shaking. I'm stepping off into the grass so I can just speak to you. This is Kalemegdan Park, which is just this huge, huge park that spans all across all of the different ruins and the Belgrade fortress. We haven't actually been into the museums yet, but we've done a stroll, like I said, here in the mornings. And we're actually pretty high up on a hill, and the old wall stretches all the way around this. Like if you look at it on a map, it's huge, huge next to the size of the city. And the views along the wall are beautiful. We'll go stroll there after, but I'm just staring at the old city wall. Sorry, the old fortress wall. And you can just walk all around here, and this is the old moat, and you can see there's a tennis court, a clay tennis court. There's a padel club, which I think is such a brilliant use of the old moat. The other side has basketball courts. Then on the outside of the wall, there's a zoo. Like this place is massive. You can just walk in so many different directions. There's multiple different museums, there's chapels, there's restaurants. Like, it's pretty magical, and I love that you don't have to buy a ticket to enter the park, which I feel like is actually pretty uncommon. For old sites like this, the fact that you can just walk around at any time of day, like I came here at 6 a.m. when I was feeling jet lagged our first morning, and I did a little run through the park, and you can just be on it. You're just standing on the wall. It's amazing. As far as like walking around the park, you could be here for hours and hours. It's a really amazing place, and might I say, early in the morning, there's not a single soul here. Right now, on the other hand, it's packed. I stand corrected. I would like to apologize. I'm sorry. Apparently, just this whole thing is the Belgrade Fortress. The actual like castle structure itself is the military museum. And I have to say, I'm not all that interested in the weaponry. I took a class in university on World War II, and I was really excited to learn all about it. And my professor was an arms dealer, and the entire course was on the weapons of World War II. My eyes just kind of glaze over with that stuff. I'm so sorry. But if you're interested in military weapons, apparently that's the museum. I feel like we saw a lot of the actual historical old pieces dating back to like BC dates at the museum this morning, which was amazing, and that filled my cup because I love to see anything that's ancient and old. And that went back to tens of thousands of years ago. They had some artifacts dating from 40,000 BC, which was so crazy. I love to see the Renaissance paintings. Like, that's the kind of stuff that just makes my heart soar. Weapons, however, I get a little queasy, I get a little sad. I don't love to see that stuff. But again, like I said, the fact that you can just walk around this entire compound and see just crumbling walls and buildings left, right, and center, it's pretty wild. It looks like they're setting up an octagon for a fight. That's crazy. Like, that seems so random, but I also just love to see that the city is using these spaces for the people who live here and visit. And it's not just something you look at, it's like, oh yes, let me have events here. I imagine weddings here are just crazy. And it's dotted all along. Like, there's bars, there's clubs, all within these old fortress walls. I think that's so, so cool. And I've personally never seen anything like it. It's amazing. One of the stops along the wall is this old Roman well. Apparently this was built in the 1700s. And I can't believe we were just walking on top of this. This is crazy. I just look at that and it says 60 meters down. And I'm like, how did you build that? How was that built? I don't understand. They built a 60-meter well in the 1700s and we can't even get cell reception. My word. No, the camera angle does not do this justice. This is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy how deep this goes. And what blows my mind is how perfectly constructed it is. Like, this is a perfect circle. All the bricks are perfectly laid. Even this. Just, it's amazing. Here's one of the sides of the wall. I just want to know, where does that go? What secrets are you holding inside? I don't know if you guys can see how high up we are, but here's the river. The intersections of the river, the Danube River, and we're so high up. And it's hard to believe that this was all once a city, all built up. And it's hard to imagine what that would have looked like. And I love to look at this. I love to look at ancient cities, whether they're rebuilt or not. But then I get a little bit sad when I think about the loss of life and loss of history when you see these things having been destroyed and bombed and burned, and that's kind of the case all across these old ancient cities. And it's crazy to try to imagine what this would have looked like. And I would love a time machine to be able to see that. I wouldn't love the smell, but I'd love to see it. One more thing I want to say is there's actually this amazing pathway built all along the side of the river. You guys can see everyone walking and running. There's a bunch of barges. There's so many restaurants and clubs and cafes all the way around. And it's actually kind of crazy because from here you can see the old city. And then over here you see all the new buildings over there. This right here is the St. Regis Hotel. There's a huge mall. We actually walked over there the other day. It looks insane. It's the Belgrade waterfront, this entire development, which is pretty wild. You can see all the cranes, how many buildings are being constructed over there, but I think they've done such a good job with this waterfront walk. And again, it's so cool to see how many people are out and about, and it's just, you know what, it's a really lively city. We've thoroughly enjoyed our time here, and it just seems like every speck of it is being used for public space, and it's amazing. So now we're gonna walk down the hill and head to our next top recommended spot on the river. All right, we just made our way down the hill. Sorry guys, I'm blind right now, but we are walking to Ambar, which so many of you said to come to Ambar for lunch. So hoping we can get a spot. It's kind of an odd time for us to have lunch, but okay. Okay, I know I've mentioned this in a video at some point, but in case you didn't know, like, Dan's family is Serbian, and we were just chatting about how blessed we are with his mama. Mama, my mother-in-law, she has fed us the authentic Serbian dishes all along. And one of my favorite things ever that she makes and that I learned how to make is sarma, okay, the stuffed leaves. Now we've had both the stuffed pickled cabbage leaves as well as like the charred, collard greens, the stuffed grape leaves, whatever, any kind of leaf. We've had it all. It's my favorite dish from the motherland, okay? And I've tried to order it everywhere that we've been here, and they're all like, oh no, we're out of it. No one has them. Is it just a seasonal thing? Do they only have it in the winter? What's going on? Anyway, I tried to get it, but no dice. The lamb meatballs are perfection. Wow. walked back up the hill to our hotel, and now I'll show you where we've been staying. Ain't she beautiful? What I love about the hotel is all of the rooms are all tall lofts. And I was so excited when we booked this hotel because all of the rooms look like little palaces, and it's so cute. And according to the internet, it's an iconic hotel that has been here forever. And so many like famous people have stayed here, and throughout all of the rooms and the hallways they have pictures of everyone who's stayed in the hotel. And beside our room has Albert Einstein. Hello, Albert. How cute is that? So we're not staying in Einstein's room. This is our room. 121 room. Amazing. So there's plenty of like newer, updated hotels that we could have stayed in, but when we saw this, I was like, we simply must. It's historic and iconic. So let us show you our room. So you walk in, and there's one bathroom on the side here. And you enter this beautiful little area. Don't mind all of our things, obviously. That's the one downside, actually, is there's not a lot of like closet space or space to put things away. But you have this gorgeous little sitting area. So pretty. I love the decor in here and these gorgeous, gorgeous, tall loft windows. It's so pretty. A little vanity area, aka our editing table. This is where I've been doing my makeup in the morning, just overlooking the street and the little patio down below. But these windows are actually really impressive with soundproofing. Anyway, here's a little staircase leading up to the bed. Take a little stroll up. It's so cute. Look how cute. Oh. I just can't get over the windows. It's such a beautiful view every morning when we wake up. And then you have another little bathroom in here with a whole bathtub, which we weren't expecting, which is awesome. And the worst hairdryer ever. You have to hold the button to blow dry your hair. Anyway, that's our beautiful room. Beautiful hotel, so cute. And again, this is like all the rooms in the hotel. They have a few of the rooms that we saw that are small, not the loft, but it's a single bed. So I don't even know if they have many of those, but wow, guys, sorry, I'm out of breath. We literally like hiked up that hill. Good evening. We got back to the hotel and had a little lay. It's so funny, I posted that on Instagram and everyone was like, what are you suggesting? I'm like, laying down and playing Stardew Valley for an hour. Thank you so much. Don't get any other ideas, LOL. I'm not gonna lie to you. I went to the gym. I'm still disgusting. Please forgive me for it, but I did switch up my hair. I tried that little like double pony hack that I've seen all over TikTok, and it's like you tie the pony and then split it in half and tie it again to add more volume to the pony. I can't see what the back of my head looks like. Did it work? I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm still stuffed from lunch. There's no way that I want or need dinner right now. We ate that lunch way too late, but we are headed to dinner, and this was another one of the spots that comes highly recommended by many of you. And it seems to have a lot of different locations. I just picked the one that was near us in the old town, but I was just touching up. I just added some powder and I'm putting on Victoria Beckham Bisou. I'm gonna wear that for a little bit of a deeper lip, and then I have my Summer Fridays Rosewood Nights. And this is just like kind of in the same tone, but adds some gloss. It's a bit deeper than my daytime version to give me some life right now. I had totally planned on wearing heels and dressing up a little bit more tonight, but it's still quite a walk. I just can't do it. I don't know how people wear heels on cobblestones, but that sure ain't gonna be me. I'm wearing another one of my Massimo Dutti finds. They're these cute flats, super cute little leather flats. I have been eyeing them up for so long at Massimo Dutti. I've seen them a few times over the last few months. They had a bunch of colors in them, and I'm regretting not buying all of them because they are so good. They are so cool. These little leather flats, they're so cute. And they're perfect. They're the perfect shape. They have the perfect slight little heel. This is gonna be my new personality from now on, these flats. So that's that. I also have my favorite little purse. This is my little Lacoste bag, and I just have to say, for this entire trip where we have been in Podgorica, in Trebinje, now in Belgrade, this is my favorite little bag ever, ever, ever. I love this little leather squishy purse from Lacoste. They also brought out a bunch of colors in these, and I also regret not buying every single one because it's the perfect size. It's so great for carrying everything I need. It's so cute, it's so chic, it's so little, it's pebbled leather. I'm obsessed with it. We just sat down in the courtyard and we just ordered, and this is one of the few times where I've looked at a menu and wanted to order everything. They have like all of my favorite things on this menu. You guys know me so well.
You guys, they had black lentils. I'm so happy.
You guys, that was so good. I don't want to be too dramatic or anything, but Dan ordered the gnocchi that comes with chicken, and it was one of the best gnocchis I've ever had. I was literally like, I'm sorry, Dan, this gnocchi's mine now. I also need you guys to understand how out of pocket that was for Dan. The man is a pizza man. It's like pizza or meat, okay? And he's like, no, I'm gonna get the chicken gnocchi. And I'm like, what? Anyway, I'm thrilled that you did, dear, because wow, that was phenomenal. Really phenomenal. Listen, y'all, we felt like we did you a disservice earlier when we took you on that beautiful old street that I can't say properly. I'm so sorry. Skadarlija. Skadarlija. So we thought on our walk back that we would take you back there so we can see how lively and bumping it gets at night. Wow, wow, wow. So far there's been live music at every restaurant we've passed. It's so cute. Okay guys, I'm sorry, we're super lame, but we came back to our hotel. They're playing piano live and we just ordered some dessert because Dan's Kuma actually told us that the hotel has her favorite cakes. And they literally, when you walk in, they have a little section here in part of the lobby restaurant that's just filled with all of their cakes, and they all have names. They look delicious, so we ordered a couple to try, even though we're so stuffed. We just have to try them. This is just a vlog of us eating. Thank you. Y'all, I'm at 18,778 steps on this fine day. Yes, I did have it on my ankle. We noticed something funny about us today. I mean, we've acknowledged it before, but Dan and I don't like to linger at restaurants. Like, whenever we go to eat food, we're on a mission. We're there to eat, and you know, we spend 24 hours a day together. We don't need to sit there for hours on end. And you know, like post-lockdown world, they started putting a limit on table reservations, and every time you make a reservation for dinner or lunch or whatever, they're like, oh, by the way, we have a 2-hour time limit. And we're like, no problem, give us 20 minutes. Bring us our food, we'll be in and out. We order all of our things all at once. Sometimes they space it out, but we're like, yeah, no problem. Bring it all, we will eat it in 5 seconds. And we also started asking for the bill when we get our main, because you don't want to wait. And sometimes we've noticed, especially when we're traveling, like the service is just a little bit slower. People like to sit and eat their meals and take their time, and when we're done our food, we're out of here. I felt like we ate our entire full course dinner tonight before the table next to us had finished their appetizer. So
Their drinks.
Their drinks, oh my gosh, you're right, they did have a drink. Amazing. Anyway, please tell us that we're not the only ones. We do acknowledge that there is a large difference between people who have been a server before and who haven't been. And Dan and I find, just because both of us served and bartended, we're aware and respectful of the server's time. You know, I get a little bit anxious and antsy if we're like taking too long. I'm like, we gotta go, we gotta flip the table. But we also just eat fast. And that's the way it is. So that's a wrap on the day, fam. With love, we bid you adieu. Good night, see you in the morning. Good morning, everyone. This morning we went for coffee with some of Dan's fam, and we're actually just headed to breakfast at another top recommended place, which is ironically all in the same area. It's all Dorchol. Is it Dorchol? Dorchol. This is Iva, New Balkan cuisine, and both that and smokvica were the two top recommended for both breakfast and dinner. So we went to the one for dinner last night, now we're going to this one for breakfast this morning. Sorry, there are so many people. I'm so embarrassed of myself just walking around with this little tripod. But just so you know, it's a new day and we're going for breakfast. I'm sorry, it was not great for me. Dan and I always rate things and we We don't usually say this out loud because I never want to offend people. Everyone's gonna have different experiences, whatever. For me, that was a 5 out of 10. Not great. Would have rather gone back to Bloom for sure. Dan liked it. He thought that the food was unique, the cheese was unique. For me, it was just whatever. I thought Bloom was like way better, but the service was so bad. We both gave it a 1 out of 10 for service. Like, I don't know if the guys were just having an off day or what, but yeah, that was our experience. Maybe for dinner it would be different. It's like a Michelin, so it has Michelin guide for 3 years in a row, so we were kind of surprised. Usually service is like a huge part of that kind of rating, but for the price, the entire experience, it was a no for me. For breakfast. So Dan and I have determined that while we are on vacation, there are 2 times of day that are sacred and holy, okay? First is coffee o'clock, and that is the hour between breakfast and lunch where we must go sit at a cafe and find a coffee, have our second coffee of the day. That's coffee o'clock, okay? And then there's Coke 0 o'clock, and that's in the afternoon. That's after lunch. It's a little bit too late to have another coffee, but you just need that pre-dinner sit down to dry off your sweat and have some hydration. That's the Coke 0 o'clock. So currently we're having our Coke 0 o'clock. There's a little lemon wedge in our cup. We stopped at this cutie little cafe. They all come in individual little bottles like this, and it's so cute. Cute? Alright. Coffee o'clock, Coke 0 o'clock. Hello fam, I've got a level with you. I've left you for the majority of the day. We just continued our strolling around. We saw the big church. We did a huge loop, and I'm not gonna lie, on our journey today, I was led on an Easter egg hunt, okay? Someone messaged me and was like, hey Lena, just wanted to let you know, I think the original NYX Nude Beige lip pencil is still here in Serbia if you wanted to try and find it. And she told me to go to the Lily drugstores as well as Alexander Cosmetics. I just need to tell you that I ran so fast after our breakfast today. I said, Dan, listen, on our walk today, we got to get our 13,000 steps, okay? We're going to do a big loop. We're going to go from breakfast to the church, loop around. We stopped at 6 different Lily drugstores. I'm not even joking, 6. We went to 6. They're everywhere. I was actually kind of impressed with how available it was in the city, and almost all of them had NYX. I think two of them didn't, so 4 out of the 6 had NYX, and they all had nude beige in stock. And I'm gonna let her know thank you, because she was not wrong, you guys. I was so excited and then so instantly let down and saddened, because the testers on each of the NYX Nude Beige lip liner things, the testers are the old ones, and you can tell because it has the old flat tip, and then they had the new ones that were actually for sale. I jokingly asked the one girl, I'm like, can I just buy the tester? Please, let me have it. And I was swatching them, and you can just see how different they were, and it was the case at every single one. We even asked the one lady, we're like, is there any back stock? Like, also, Dan is such a trooper. He knows, like, he sits here and edits the videos. He hears me blab on and on about the NYX Nude Beige pencil, okay? So he was very supportive with our adventure today, and I did not, in fact, find the OG NYX Nude Beige, but I did buy one to bring home just to see. I was like, maybe they are different than the one, but no, it's the same. And I just wanted to say that after today, after my 14,000 step day and 6 different Lily drugstores, I am officially putting the NYX Nude Beige discussion to rest, because no matter how many times I try and talk about it, I get so many messages being like, we still have it here, we still have it here, because every time I post about it, people assume that I mean that it's just discontinued. It's not discontinued, they just changed it. They changed the shade. The old shade doesn't exist anymore. Maybe, like, some of you have backups and that's so fine, but I think I just need to accept it. I've seen a few people use Max Stone lip pencil, so maybe I'll move on to that. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just letting you know that unless NYX Cosmetics contacts me personally and tells me that they are fixing this terrible deed that they have done, I'm over it. I'm over trying to find it. We're gonna move on to greener pastures, and yeah, I've tried my best. The hunt has been hunting, but we hath not found a dupe, and I'm gonna get over it. I'm gonna put it to rest. I'm gonna put my little nubbin into my memory box, and we're gonna be done with it. So just know, the majority of the day was spent swatching at Lily drugstores. And we got back, we had a little nap, we did our workout, and I've just showered. And honestly, I needed a mask. This is the 111 Skin Cryo Depuffing Mask that I lovingly get from Cult Beauty. Cult Beauty, I love you so. And I also wanted to show you my pajamas because, oh my god, TMI, if you get queasy, if you don't like female reproductive discussions, then please, this is your warning. You guys, I had a puberty, pre-pubescent moment on this trip. If you guys remember, if you recall, we were in Podgorica with Dan and his dad, and we were sharing an Airbnb, and my towel's falling out. Oh, I can hear again. Really unnecessary, long story long. You guys know I wear my Aura ring, okay? I travel constantly. I am quite an excellent packer, if I do say so myself, and I have my consistent packing routines, whatever. I don't know what happened, but I did not pack my Aura ring charger, and the Aura ring chargers are so stupid because Dan has his, okay? But it fits the size of the ring. So my ring is too small to fit onto Dan's charger, so we can't even share. But it's so rude because his ring fits on my charger. So anyway, so rude. I forgot my Aura ring charger, so it died within the first like 5 days of our trip. And the Aura ring told me that I was gonna get my period like later, like around now, towards the end of our trip. Oh baby, I got it on day 2. No warning, no little warning dribble, nothing. I woke up at that Airbnb in my cute little one pair of pajamas that I packed for the trip, soaked, like covered in blood, okay? And I woke up and I had just woken up and went straight to the bathroom and I was like, looked at my pants, oh my god, LOL. Thankfully, nothing was on the bed. I didn't destroy the Airbnb bed. Guys, I would have been so mortified. So mortified. Like, it came so much earlier than I thought. I wasn't, or lied, honestly. It tries. It predicts like pretty close, but this time it was pretty off. It was off by like a solid week and a half. Anyway, that was unexpected. So long story long, I ruined my pajamas. Absolutely destroyed. Like, when I tell you they were covered, just like down the legs. TMI, you're welcome. I had to buy new pajamas. So here in Belgrade, we saw a store called Extreme Intimo. And it's a cute little lingerie store. Might I also say there's also an Intimissimi, and I thought about getting more of my anti-chafing short shorts, but I have enough. But I did see these pajamas in the window, and how cute are they? They are striped, they are wonderful. I got a size medium, and look, the pants say Sunday. Oh, they are so adorable. They're also pretty foul at this point because I've been wearing them obviously every single day. So they need a wash desperately, but I do get lots of cues about my pajamas, so I thought I'd let you know. Extreme Intimo. So there's that, and it also just happens to match my mask. Hi friends, we are back home with the meow. Sorry, I just have this terrible habit. I personally feel like I never want to end a vlog because it's never an end. It's a to be continued, really. But I know that we all feel strongly about the ending and things. So here I am ending this vlog. Apologies that I didn't bid you adieu. So we've been home for a couple of days. You guys will see in the next video. We've been really struggling with jet lag. I feel like this was the first time that we've stayed in one place for a while. Usually whenever we go across the pond, we're kind of hopping between time zones over there too. We never really stay put. The last like 5 days, I think we've been home for 5 days. It's been a struggle bus. We've been so tired. I feel like I've been a zombie. Oh my gosh. But we had such a nice trip, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for all of the recommendations in Belgrade while we were there, and so happy because Serbia was actually my 30th country. I wanted to do the like 30 before 30 thing. I haven't, but and officially added Dan's homelands to homelands. Anyway, so I was thrilled. That's my 30th country, so that was fun. I do keep a list. We used to actually have an app. It's called Bin, like where you've been. We used to have an app where we kept track of all that good stuff. Meryl, you have dirt in your paws. Were you digging? We just posted a TikTok of Meryl. If you guys haven't seen, you need to go to my TikTok and watch it because this morning Meryl is TikTok famous. Anyway, we're home. Hope you enjoyed this vlog. I know it was a long one, but it was a good little wholesome travel vlog. Love you all so much, and we'll see you all very soon for a new video. Thanks for watching. Bye!